What's good, everybody? It's your boy, the Q-Tip. We're back with another video. Today, we're doing another game preview, but there's two game previews because it's the Champions League or Champions era. And yeah, so we're going to talk about Tennessee versus Louisville, number 16 versus number 17. First, because the UConn-Louisville game or UConn-Iowa game may not take that much time for me. So I'm going to start with this game instead. Tennessee's only played 9 games. They're 7-2 coming in. Louisville's played 11. I think they're 10-1 coming in. So both teams have had a few tough matchups and have lost to those. So both teams need this win before they head into conference play. Tennessee in the SEC, ACC for Louisville. Janiah Barker is leading the team in points for Tennessee with 16 points, shooting 36% from 3, 50% from the field. Talasia Cooper went down with an injury, but should be okay for this game. She is averaging 15 points, 4 assists, 6 rebounds, 31% from 3, 44% from the field. You also have Z Spearman and Nia Robinson, who are both averaging double figures. And then the point guard, Mia Paldo, one half of the twin sisters. So, as we know, Tennessee is a team. Kim Caldwell is a coach that plays almost every single player. So it's hard sometimes for certain players to get into a rhythm. And this is going to be an interesting game to see if she continues to do that, which I wouldn't be surprised because she's done it against every team. So, if she's not... We all know that Kim Caldwell plays all of her players, plays a 10-woman rotation, so not everybody can get into a rhythm, and sometimes that hurts them against good teams. I'm not sure that this will be one of those games that it hurts them against because Louisville is a younger team, doesn't play a ton of different players off the bench, so I think they can use that to their advantage. I will say Louisville has to keep up with the offensive firepower at times of Tennessee. Tennessee can be really good offensively, then there's times where they struggle mightily. They don't shoot phenomenally from the three-point line, so the games that they do shoot well from the three-point line, they typically end up winning. So that's something that, if I'm Louisville, that's what I'm looking to stop. It's the three-point shooting. Obviously, you want to stop them from getting in the paint because they have a lot of athletic players that want to get to the rim and create open shots for others and get to the free throw line and things like that. For Louisville, you want to not play at their pace because Tennessee plays at a super fast pace, which is why they play a 10-woman rotation. You don't want to play into their pace and play into their game style, especially when you don't have the personnel to do so. Some teams have the personnel to do so, so they are able to do that with Tennessee. I don't think Louisville is one of those teams. I think they have to make sure that they are locking in on defense and making this a half-court game as much as possible, make it more difficult for Tennessee to get the shots that they want. I said Louisville was, I think, 10-2. I think they're 11-3, so that's my fault. But if I'm Louisville, I'm making sure that Tennessee doesn't get the shots that they want. They don't get the up and down play that they want. Tajiana Roberts is their point guard. She is the player that gets them going offensively and defensively. One of the last times we've seen her, she missed the game-winning shot against, was it UConn, I think? I think she missed the game-winning shot against UConn. So that was a big, no, it wasn't UConn. I don't remember exactly who it was, but she missed the game-winning shot, and she was, I don't want to say hysterical, but, oh no, it was South Carolina. She missed the game-winning shot against South Carolina, which was pretty open, but, you know, in those kind of situations, it's kind of hard to know how much time you're going to have. So I'm hoping that she continues to build off of that, even though it was a miss, build off of that adversity and help her team win a game like this. Laura Ziegler wasn't great in the South Carolina game, so this is another opportunity for her to come out and show that she can perform in big games again before they get into ACC play, where they're one of the favorites to win the conference. Laura Ziegler is a good three-point shooter, so that's something that Tennessee is going to have to look out for as well. And then Tajiana Roberts, not a great shooter, but has the ability to get downhill and is a good playmaker. So that's another thing that Tennessee is going to have to look out for. And with their athleticism on the defensive end, I think it'll be a really interesting matchup between what Tajiana Roberts can do and what Tennessee's defense is capable of stopping her from doing. There's obviously going to have to be other players to step up and help Tajiana and Laura. I think Amari Berry and Skylar Jones are two players that can do that. They're not great three-point shooters, but they're good at getting to the rim and making shots around the rim. So if they can do that, obviously we want to see more from McKinley Randolph in her second season. If she can start to have a real post presence down low, I think that changes the outlook of this team, not only for this year, but for the future. She's playing 20 minutes a game. She's having 6 points, 4 rebounds. shooting 55% from the floor, and 44% from three. If she continue to gain confidence and gain real gameplay or big game situations, I think that helps them a lot. Again, not just for now, but for the future as well. If I had to choose who I believe is going to win this game, I'm going to go, this is a road game for both teams. I think it's in New York, so the closest is actually, Kentucky and Tennessee are actually very close. I actually don't know who's closest. Okay, well, this is like the definition of a neutral site game because neither team has the advantage of who's closer. Unlike the UConn and Iowa game that is later on that night or later on in the day. UConn is right there in New York, so sucks for Iowa, I guess. But they travel well too, so that's okay. If I had to choose, I'm gonna go with Tennessee. Actually, Louisville played South Carolina really well, so I could see Louisville coming out and winning this game. Actually, I'm gonna go Louisville. I changed my mind. Y'all just watched me change my mind in real time. I'm gonna go with Louisville. I think they have enough offensively to slow them, or they have enough defensively to slow them down. They have enough offensively to keep up. I will say they have to make sure that they're not playing at the pace of Tennessee, and if they do, they probably won't win this game. But I'm still gonna go Louisville. I think their fans will travel. So will Tennessee's fans, and I think Louisville knows how close they were to beating the South Carolina team. That is one of the best teams in the country. I think they look at this game as a similar situation before they get into conference play. So I'm gonna go with Louisville. The next game we have is UConn, Iowa. Like I mentioned earlier, we're going to start with Iowa. This is a tough game for Iowa because they do not have the firepower to keep up with UConn, so their defense is going to be the key, and then the three-point shooting as well. Kylie Feuerbach, Taylor McCabe, Chit-Chat Wright are going to have to shoot the three ball well in this game. If they don't, this game will not be very close. Ava Hyden is going to have to stay out of foul trouble. She was in foul trouble in their previous matchup against Iowa State, or previous big matchup, I should say, against Iowa State. Granted, they were playing Audie Crooks, so that's a much different matchup than playing Sarah Strong. But still a very tough matchup nonetheless. So she could be in some foul trouble. I think her having Ava Hyden and Hannah Stolke in the post can help potentially against Sarah Strong. But again, UConn has so many different weapons that it's going to be hard to just say, oh, we're just going to do this to Sarah Strong. And also Sarah Strong is just really damn good, so it might not work anyway. Ava Hyden shooting 65% from the floor. Hannah Stolke shooting 54% from the floor. They have to be efficient in this game as well. And I will say, Iowa plays a lot of players. I think there was 10 players that averaged double-figure minutes. So this is another situation similar to Tennessee where it's hard for players to get a rhythm or stay in a rhythm. And I do think that Iowa does a better job of staying with the players that have the hot hand more than Tennessee does. But I will say, this is one of those games where, like, once you get your best five in this game particularly, you have to play that best five. Like, you cannot go back and forth of who you want to play, who should be playing. Kylie Feuerbach had a good game against Iowa State, but has struggled from the three-point line this year, but she's still a really good shooter. Still trust her to shoot the ball well. She just has to do it. Layla Hayes is going to come off the bench. She'll also be a big key in the post against Sarah Strong and against Sarah Williams. And I feel like for Iowa, there's certain things that they can do well. It's just, I don't know if they can do those things well against UConn, because UConn is one of the best defenses in the country, as well as one of the best offenses in the country, which makes them really hard to beat. Like, a lot of teams that you can say, like, okay, they're great at defense, but they can be slowed down offensively, or they're great offensively, but they can be attacked defensively. I don't think you can do that with UConn, just because that's their system, that's their style, that's their program. It's always been defense first, and then offense. It's just, they just play a phenomenal brand of basketball. If everybody touches the ball, everybody is involved. It's unselfish brand of basketball. So really hard to stop, because you don't know who's going to get the shot at the end of the play. Obviously, when you have AZ Flood and you have Sarah Strong, two of the better players in the country, those are the top names on the scouting report, but you still have to worry about players like KK Arnold, Sarah Armstrong, Blanca Quinones, Ashlyn Shade. So again, the firepower for UConn is probably going to overtake what Iowa is capable of doing in this game. But if Iowa can keep it close long enough, like I always say, when you get to late game situations, when the top teams are playing in a late game situation, weird things happen because the confidence of the team that's not supposed to win is at an all-time high because we're 2 minutes left in the game. We have a chance to win this game. All we got to do is make one crazy, maybe lucky shot, fluky shot, and we win the game. And again, this is another neutral site game, although not very neutral site because, again, Connecticut is very close to New York. So UConn has the advantage in terms of how close, how easy it is for their fans to get there, but Iowa fans travel phenomenally across the country. So I do think, I don't want to say it'll be 50-50, but it'll probably be 60-40 in terms of fan bases. And then ESPN said it's going to be there's a 90% chance that UConn wins this, which it sounds crazy, but honestly, it's not that crazy. I'm not going to lie. I'm sure you guys know who I have winning this game. Not even really going to say, well, I have to say it, but UConn's going to win this game. I do think it can be close. But like I said earlier, Iowa must shoot the three ball well, defend well, and play their brand of basketball. If they do not do those things, this will be a blowout, and this game will be over by 2:30, and the game starts at 1:30. So by halftime, this game will be over if they don't do the things right. But I appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Tap in with everything else that we're doing over here. This is day 17 of posting every single day of December. We're going to continue all the way through December, and then we're taking a few days off in January. I'm not going to lie. I told y'all this last video, but I'm definitely taking some days off, and then we'll get right back to it. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you come back to the next one.